Alright, night 2. Hung the tarp up tonight just to see what it would look like. It's kind of rigged up kind of crazy. Learned a few things from last night after watching the video. One thing is portrait sucks when I upload it to YouTube. Sorry about that. So I'm going to try to get better at filming. I watch a lot of YouTube videos about hiking and camping, trying to learn how to do all this stuff. And I have a lot of pet peeves. So hopefully I won't add to the huge amount of those on the internet already. And my goal is to hopefully get better at filming. And then when I'm hiking and camping in all the parks around here, the videos themselves will be awesome because you'll be able to see the beauty of everywhere around where I live and kind of join in on that. I'll be able to do the same. And I want it to be pleasant. Even when I go back and watch the videos, I don't want to be paying attention to mosquitoes on my forehead or shaky cameras. That's another thing I need to worry about. So I'll let you take a look at my rickety old tarp tonight. I've got it really just rigged up because I don't have any tent stakes yet, so I've got to get some of those. So here it is. It's a DIY. Yeah, it's just tied up into a tree there. DIY tarp for about $10. Tied up into a tree over there. Just clove hitches. All these knots are just clove hitches for now. And that knot is actually a slip taut-line hitch kind of knot. It's pretty cool. It allows you to tighten up the knot after you've tied it, but it comes off in a quick release manner. I really like that. And then the knot that's up there is a real quick sort of half hitch, quick release half hitch knot. My goal is to get setup time really short and quick, and then tear down time the same thing. No real knots to untie, just quick release for everything. And anything that's not quick release will stay on whatever equipment I have. For instance, the tarp itself is in the center of a full ridgeline. There's actually a paracord running from one tree to another tree underneath of this tarp. And the tarp is tied to that ridgeline with 2 prusik knots. And those are just small rings that wrap around the cord in such a way that when tension is applied, it does not move. But when tension is released and you can move it with your finger, you can adjust it. So it's highly adjustable. So that's another cool thing. The tarp itself is made from 3mm painter's plastic. And I don't know how good it shows up on the video, but it's actually a lot foggier than I had hoped. I was really hoping it would be clearer than this. That was my goal, actually. 2 things when I saw some people online who made one of these was they showed their video up through it and it was just clear, not perfectly clear without something, but it was clear enough that you could see stuff. And it was cheap. It was $10, and I mean that's fantastic. It took me a while to make, and I screwed up some stuff, but the dimensions are 11 feet by 4 feet. It comes in, 11 feet by 8 feet, but it's 4 feet aside. It comes in 12 feet by 8 feet. So just had to cut off a foot, and then cut the angles for the hex shape, and reinforce the outside with clear duct tape. And then across the middle with an X pattern and down the ridge line so that all the stress of the tie-outs will actually be on all of the duct tape and not on the 3mm plastic. This stuff is very, very weak. It would not hold tension and easily punctured, but you can repair it pretty quickly with some duct tape. So all of the tape is on the inside. One reason for that is the ridge line will rub against the tape and not against the 3mm plastic. And the tie outs are just pieces of duct tape with a little piece of duct tape on the inside, so that sticky side is sticky side, and the rope just goes through that, and that's sandwiched on top of the 3mm, and then covered over with duct tape again to reinforce that. And I'm using paracord for the actual cord tie outs with Prusik knots attached to the duct tape tie outs. So those are highly adjustable as well. And really happy with what it turned out, but I was really cussing this thing when duct tape would accidentally touch the 3mm plastic. Oh man, you just can't fix that. It just you just gotta cut it and let it go. That was the most frustrating. It's definitely kind of a two-man job or two-person job. But for $10, what the crap. So I'm gonna put some the ridgeline. Maybe you can see this. The ridgeline is kind of coming off that tape a little bit, and so if I can put a little, just like on the sides of the hammock, a little tie out, except it's just right in the middle to keep that ridgeline on there. That'll be a little better. At least I'll feel better about it. Plus, I'll add some pullouts on the outside. Same idea, just some duct tape, 1-inch strips, and then attach a cord to that. Pull out the sides so that when it's actually down, like it looks like a tent, the sides come away from you, so plenty of room. And as you know, I still have not made my bug net, so these mosquitoes are definitely loving tonight. Came out to feed them, a little buffet for them. Plenty. But I did wear my pants. Whoa, that was terrible. Put my hand right in front of the camera. I did wear my pants, so no leggies tonight. And I found out putting my knee up here like this actually really does relax everything a little bit. Again, changing, if you move one thing, everything else shifts around. So, and after I turned off the video last night, I tried to do side sleeping. Moving around this thing's a little getting used to for me. But I tried doing the side sleeping thing, and it really wasn't that uncomfortable. I actually thought it was going to be a lot more uncomfortable, and I finally got into a position where I was on my side and kind of like what I think I would be sleeping in. And I think just the tension, because this is too short, pushing in on my head as I'm facing out was a little, that was probably the only part that was uncomfortable. But otherwise, actually very surprising. Side sleeping is going to be, I don't think, a problem at all. And really looking forward to that. So I've got to get some stakes, some lightweight aluminum stakes or something. I could make tent stakes out of sticks and wood and stuff, but I didn't bring a knife out here. And I was thinking I was going to do that, but with lightweight aluminum and the speed, I mean, it's not going to add that much to the weight. I mean, just being able to put them in the ground, what in the world? I think I'm just going to get some aluminum stakes. So, just kind of sitting out here again. I sat out last night even after I was finished for a while longer. Kind of enjoyed just sitting out here until it got too dark. Turns out, got to chatting with one of my neighbors. So it was a good, I'm glad I stayed out here a little longer. Get to meet them. And that was pretty cool. So, yeah. So I'm probably going to hang out here until the mosquitoes have their fill, or it gets too dark and I'll get back in. Getting in the hammock tonight was much easier. Having done it yesterday and gotten out yesterday, it's definitely a different experience. It's not like just jumping into bed. At least it's not for me. Maybe it is for some hammockers, but for me it's not. So it takes a little getting used to. I'm sure I'm not as proficient as I should be, but it was pretty quick tonight. And the setup time for everything was under 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. I didn't time it. Maybe I'll do that next, but it was pretty quick. Even with the ghetto tie outs, like this is terrible. This is definitely not the way you would hang a tarp. But there's trees in the way over here. I could actually reach out and touch it. It's too close to the two trees I'm hanging from, so I can't really tie it out that way. But the flexibility of a tarp, being able to be tied up like this, is pretty cool. So, yeah, cool stuff. And yeah, along with my goal of kind of sharing some adventures, I also make some apple wine, and I need to, I don't need to, I want to kind of video some of that. Some of my buddies make some other stuff, and it's really turning out real well. And part of this wanting to go camping is related to that stuff, so maybe I'll tell you some of that story some other time. All right, I hope you all have a good night.